Hey everyone, and welcome to Solo Quest. Today we have a bit of a different video. We're going to have a look at a digital board game. This is Evolution, the board game from North Star Games, and we are going to have a quick look at everything that this game has to offer. Now, I will be showing you the game on the Nintendo Switch, but you can also get this on Steam, and we are going to have a giveaway for a Steam key for this game. So yeah, stay tuned and let's have a look.
There is only one constant in the story of life: change. To survive, you must adapt. Can you outwit the creatures of Evolution Island? A new challenge arrives every week to test your skill. Pass it around to play with friends, or go online and prove your skill. Evolution, the strategy game of adaptation.
Right, so this game is actually made by North Star Digital Studios, and North Star is actually the company that did the actual board game. So this is an implementation of the Evolution board game. Now, I haven't played it like ever. I actually didn't. I wasn't really that familiar with the Evolution board game going into this, but for people who don't really know the game, there's a good tutorial here, and we're going to have a look at that. So actually, let me jump in. So there's a lot of stuff you can do here on Evolution. You can do an online game. As you can see, you can find opponents. This has a skill-based online matchmaking, so that's good. You will be paired with people around your skill level. The game actually keeps track of your progression on the campaign, your wins, etc. So there is that level of matchmaking that's pretty good. There's also a single player campaign. It has, I believe, 21 levels, if I am not mistaken. Distinct AI opponents as well. So there's a lot of variety here in the game, which we will also see. There's chat, there's an online multiplayer rankings, so there is a lot of stuff to do. There's weekly challenges as well. Honestly, I haven't explored all of it. The online bit, especially, I really haven't explored it. I've been playing the local game, the campaign game. I'm not sure how far I am actually. So yeah, as you can see, you can play just an AI game. You can just play like a one-off. You can play a campaign. You have your weekly challenges. You have a pass and play, which I haven't tried it, but I believe this is just for couch play. But yeah, in the campaign itself, I've played it. How far have I been? I think I've done 8 to 9 scenarios. Something like this. No, 6. Okay, I'm on the 6th one. So not as much as I thought. But actually, what I'm going to show you right now, we will do a bit of the tutorial to show you how the game eases you in. Okay, so now I'll be showing you the game as a fresh game. I'll just show you the tutorial because I think that bit is important so that people who aren't familiar with the board game can actually see how the game eases you in. Let's look here at the trailer.
Species beyond your wildest dreams.
All right, quick stuff. All right, so as you are greeted into game, you have who I believe it is Darwin. Yep. So this is basically just to explain you what the game is about. I think that's important. So Evolution is about the evolution of species. This is a pretty good learning experience, I would say, for maybe younger kids. It is a very didactic game. I'm not sure if that's the correct word, but it does kind of teach you a little bit about species and evolution of species. In a way, okay, it's not this doesn't replace you a school manual, but it is a bit focused on trying to ease younger children into that theme, and that's pretty much what we will be doing in the game. We will be controlling species of animals we will be competing with other species for food and survival in harsh environments. Okay, so that's pretty much the theme here. This is mostly a card game. We will be equipping our species with abilities from cards. We can use those cards for other stuff as well. They are kind of multi-use cards. We can use it to increase our species body size, making them bulkier. We can increase the number of each animal of each species, and then we can use the special abilities of each card as well. And we will be competing again, like I said, with food, for food, etc., with other species that will be also sharing that same environment. All right, so as we come into the game, we are greeted here with a first screen. I have an account, I know the rules, teach me the game. So let's just look at the teach me the game, and I'll just show you one or two of the intro scenarios. The tutorial takes its time to ease you into the game. Now, I have to be honest, I did have a bit of trouble. Even going through the tutorial, it took me a while. Maybe I wasn't paying as much attention as I should to the tips displayed here, but I did have a bit of a difficulty. But right now, I think I pretty much can play on my own without that much of help. All right, so there's a lot of messages that you will have, messages pop-ups that you will have during these tutorials. They'll explain you everything that's going on. Your species is hungry, you have to feed it. So basically, that pond right there, it has food for herbivores. As you can see, that little green dot is the food, and each round you will need food so that your species survives. Okay. There you go. So your goal is to eat the most food. You add population, which means you increase the number of animals of that species, and you can play cards as population. Like I said, they are multi-use. They have this little ability. For example, this one, foraging. You could take one additional food, or what you can do is you can also play the card as population right there. You see that one? It means I have one animal of this species, but if I use the card for population, now we have 2. There you go. So let's give it one more population, and there you go. All right, so you're pretty much just limited for the cards you have in your hand in terms of actions that you do on each of these turns. All right, so another species has come to the watering hole. We're competing for food. All right, so as soon as we play all of our cards, we then each species will have its turn removing food from the pond. Now, if you can't feed your population, they will die. So I was only able to get one food, which means the other 2 population that I had, they didn't eat, so they starved to death, and my population went back to 1. All right. So let's use foraging as a trait. So traits are the abilities of the card. So again, I could use this card for population like I did before, or I can just place it up on top, all right, as a trait. We have 3 slots for traits. So add a population, so you can take 2 food at a time. So this ability now allows my species to take an additional food when I go into the pond to eat, which means if I go there once, I can easily feed 2 population, all right? So we use the other card to increase it. And now there you go, there's 2 food in there. We're going to eat the 2 because of our ability. We'll feed our 2 population, and as you see, the other animal, they couldn't get any food, so all of their population died, and they just went into extinction. Okay, and that's a pretty important thing to note. Again, this is just one of the aspects of the game. So you basically will have these tutorials at the start of the game that will explain you how to play and explain you all of the bits of the game. Now the game it starts pretty small and pretty slow, but there's a lot of stuff to it. There's a lot of cards. So since it's a card game, I mean, diversity has to be a factor. You can see that little dinosaur, that green dinosaur up top. That means that it's the first player. Okay, that's what that dinosaur means. So this tutorial here, you can use your cards to create more species. We are not limited to this species right here. We can use one of these cards to I think we're limited to 3 now. I can't even I'm not sure about that actually, but you can create new species. So I could, there you go, create a new one here. So we have a new trait, cooperation trait, played as a trait on the correct species. All right, so traits again are these abilities right here. So cooperation, every feeding we share one food to the right. So that means that I would it would be good to have this card right here on my species on the left, so that when I eat, I share the food to the right side, which means to this new one right here. So as you might have noticed, and you might be wondering, what's that number on the top left of the card? That is the amount of food that it adds to the pawn. So every round, each player selects, or each species selects, well, not each species, because I can have different species, but yeah, each player, let's call it like that, select one card, and the number on the card is the number of food that will be added to the pawn. Okay, so if you are playing, let's say, a carnivore, you can play a carnivore. You can either be herbivore and go and get that food on the middle of the pawn, or a carnivore and actually attack other species. So if you have a lot of carnivores, you don't want that much herbivore food, so you can actually play cards with a 0 or even a minus. Or if you are an herbivore, you really need a lot of food for your species. Yeah, you want to put oh, there you go. You want to put a lot of food in that middle of that pawn. All right, so that's what that number is for. For the rest of the round, it doesn't matter. It's just for the food at the start. All right, so we want to play cooperation here on our species on the left. All right. Now, when you are feeding, this is in turn, okay? So it's not one player goes in, all of their species eats. No, it's one species at a time. So I want this species to go there first. Okay, so there you go. It's going to share once it goes and feeds. It shares the food to the right. It takes one more and shares it with the other one. Okay. So it's a little bit like the other ability, which lets him eat twice. This one lets him eat twice, but it shares a food into the right side of him. So we run, like I was saying, there you go. You add food to the Wandering World. That number on the cards is the food level. You've got 2 population to feed. Choose wisely. All right. So we will be first here, and I know that. I have 2 population. There's 0 food on the pawn. You can see there in the pawn on the right side. So having a 2 in there would be good, which means that I could start off the other species. Now I don't know which card they're going to play. Okay, so I could play a -3, but that's probably too bad. So I will just play this 2 right here, and let's see what they play. Any card can make an action. Let's review the 3 things you can do with your card. So you can play a trait, like I said. Yep, it's an ability that you will give to each of your species. So now I could play one here, and I will play foraging here on my this species right here. Okay, and I'll take the middle slot. We can add a population as well. Select the card and play it as a population, which will increase that number right there on the left. And we can also make a new species. Now there's something else that we can do with the cards, and this hasn't explained it yet, which is increase body size. On the right side of our little bird there, our image is that little blue circle, okay? That is our body size. That's how bulky our species is. That's important mostly when carnivores come into play. Carnivore is one of these traits, one of these abilities that you play into yourself. Once you transform yourself into a carnivore, you won't be getting food from the pawn, you will be attacking other species. And you can only attack species that have a smaller body size than yours, okay? You have to be bigger to be able to attack them. Makes sense. So basically that's what body size is for. If you're a carnivore, you want to pump your body size up. Again, it's just placing a card in there, just like the population. You just feed the card into the stats. If you are not a carnivore, you also want to pump your body size to protect yourself from carnivores. As if they have to be bigger than you, so if you are big, they can't attack you. There are a lot of cards that interact with the carnivore trait. Either don't let the carnivore must have like climbing to attack you, and then the carnivore has a card a trait that gives him climbing. There's a lot of traits that really interact with that. All right, so now they want me to make a new species. Okay, so yeah, we can always, it's not 3, we're not limited to 3 at all. So this new species, I'll just place it here. It probably won't go that well for that species, I would think. Okay, so we have 6 foods right here on the pond. Great. All right, so now we choose who is going to eat. So this one would be great to eat because it's going to eat twice for itself, and then it's going to share a food into the right side. So there you go. I just took 3 food out of there. All right. So now I want to. So they're pretty much full. My other 2 species. So I have this one left. Unfortunately, I won't be able to extinguish them. But as you saw, I took 4 food, and this will translate into points at the end of the game, which means I just did more points this round. Ideally, I would leave no food for my opponent, and I would make him starve. But oh well, that's life. All right, so new round begins. Now again, I'm going to choose how much food I put in there. Since I'm not going first right now, I'm going to put a little bit more food in there. And I will use this foraging, right? And okay, so what do I want to do here? So I think I will use a cooperation and place it here, okay? And also I will go with this foraging here, and I'll also add a population here. Okay, you can undo. That's pretty important. You can undo things if and they are forcing me. Oops, they are forcing me to undo it. So sure, let's undo it. Okay, and now let's add the population. And once we're done, we are going to pass the turn. So let's see what happens here. Now this is going to mostly depend as well on the food that your opponent places on the pond. So he just took 3 food. That's not good. So I think my species here on the right is going to have a pretty bad time here. So there we go. I wasn't able to. I didn't have a third to pass to my right species. So as you can see, they died because they weren't able to be fed. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, let's just finish this game, and then I'll talk a little bit about it outside of the game. Alright, so how much food do we want to put in here? So I only have 1, so let's actually go with this. Alright, so I will create a new species right now. And I will... I think I'll add to its population. And I could... I think I want to do that. So, what do I want to do here? Though, let's just give him foraging, sure. Okay, yeah, you can definitely look at them a little bit better. If you want to see like a specific card, you can see their traits. Okay, see what they have equipped. This is important. It's very important. It's one of those things that, and I'll talk about it just in a little bit. Let me just see what's happening here. So we have 3 food. All right, so they're pretty much going to starve right now because this guy is going to take all 3 of it. Okay, I'm going to share 1 to the right, and there you go. So they all died because they pretty much just starved. So being the first player is pretty important, as you can see. And we will not be the first player right now. So I kind of, since we're not going to be the first one, I kind of want to have a lot of food in there. The most I got was this, so I'll throw this one in. This one is pretty good. This gives me a food. Before the feeding begins, I get a free food. I don't even have to go to the pond. So this kind of guarantees that that we won't starve to death. I'll put it right here. So I'll just use this trait on both of my species. All right, and that's my turn. So I got 3 cards. I play them, and that's it. That's my turn. that's what we will be doing again, playing cards in various ways. Now, like I said, there's the carnivore bit. I won't be showing it here because the video would be too long. But yeah, you can become a carnivore, and like I said, regarding body size, you can then attack your opponent. All right, so now is final score. Let's see how well we did. So population goes into play, how much food you were able to get, how many trades you played. So all of that matters. So I am the field intern. I didn't name my character here. I still new account just to show you this bit of the tutorial. So that's pretty much it. Now, regarding the experience right here on the Nintendo Switch. Like I said, I've just played it on the Switch. It is compatible with, you can dock it. This is important. You can dock your Nintendo Switch, but it will not be compatible with the Pro Controller, unfortunately. You will have to use the Joy-Cons, okay? It only supports Joy-Cons. That's a bit of a bummer. I didn't realize that at the start, and it took me quite a while to start playing because I thought my Pro Controller was broken. So be aware of that, okay? Don't turn on your Pro Controller, just use your Joy-Con. In handheld mode, the game just sings. Honestly, I prefer playing it handheld. It's a perfect game to take on travels, on your commute. It works fantastically with the touch. You can just drag the cards to play them. It works fantastically. I just wanted to warn you that Pro Controller is not supported, and that's a bit of a bummer. But I mean, there's workarounds, and you can just use your Joy-Cons. Apart from that, it's very well implemented. Again, there's this very big tutorial. There's a lot of scenarios. I'm not going to show you. Like I said, I'll stop the tutorial here because there's too many scenarios. I'm on campaign 6, and they're still teaching me new things about the game and new cards being implemented. It comes a time when there's just a lot of cards and a lot of strategies that you can pursue. So yeah, there's a lot of diversity here to the game. Now we are coming out of this screen right now, and I'll talk a little bit more about it outside of the screen.
Hey everyone, so that was a quick look at Evolution, the board game, the digital version on the Nintendo Switch once again. So you can get this also on Steam, and I believe there's an iOS and Android version as well. But I myself, I've only been able to try it out on the Nintendo Switch. This was actually a copy that was provided by North Star Digital Studios. So thank you so much to North Star for reaching out so that I could show you and talk a little bit about Evolution to all of you. So what did I think about the game? Though I did enjoy it. I haven't finished the campaign. I'm still, honestly, I feel I'm still learning the game. I really, again, wasn't knowledgeable on the board game version of Evolution, so yeah, I'm pretty much just dipping my toes into this. But so far, what I've tried, it was actually quite enjoyable. From the board games, digital board games I've tried, this is one of the most compelling for me. I've tried, well, not that many, but stuff like Pandemic, your more, the older versions. Jaipur, I tried Jaipur, I actually like that one quite a bit. Yeah, mostly older versions. The most recent ones, not so much. I haven't tried Wingspan, I haven't tried Root. So in terms of more modern, more recent board game digital releases, this is the only one I've tried. But so far, in terms of digital implementation, it's the one I most enjoyed. Mostly because of the interface and the ease of play that it brings. Well, especially on the Nintendo Switch, which again, it has that larger screen. I play a lot of it on a handheld, and it really helps with the gameplay and the ease of play in that sense. The game itself is pretty good. I've enjoyed it. It is a card game. It has a lot of combos. Like I said, I don't think I've unlocked everything in the game yet. For sure, I haven't. Again, I've played like 6 scenarios besides the tutorial, so not that much, but I'm seeing a lot of different cards already and a lot of different strategies to pursue. So yeah, there is that. Again, my only caveat that I've encountered on the Nintendo Switch was that Pro Controller not being compatible with the game, which is a bit of a bummer. on a bigger screen, it would be great to have it on your TV and be able to use your Pro Controller. But again, you can just take out the Joy-Cons and just use those. But then there's the battery issues and and all those small issues that may come from that. But that's only my real caveat with the game actually so far. So yeah, that was the Evolution digital board game. Like I said, I didn't show you a whole lot of gameplay because I don't, well, it would be too big of a video. Like I said, the tutorial is really broken down into a lot of scenarios. They really ease you in very slowly, but I think it's the preferred way because you don't have a game manual, to use to read and to go back to if you have any questions. So having a very slow and really thoughtful and deep tutorial, I think is the best way to go. Some of the scenarios are super simple, like the first one I've showed you. But again, all of the other ones will be introducing more and more things very slowly. That carnivore thing, like I talked about, that's very important in the game. Maybe I should have actually skipped ahead if I could and show you that scenario, that tutorial bit. But that's mostly it. You can become a carnivore, and then again you have to get food, but it's meat, not plants. So yeah, there will be other cards interacting with that. So because basically it is a card game, it's not a deck builder. It's more of a well, I could call it a tableau builder, each species being a tableau. I guess it could be perceived as that, but yeah, that's mostly what it is. You are building your own species, defining what strategies each species will go for. And like I said, the game was made by North Star Digital Studios. North Star is the developer of the board game as well, so again, it's in good hands. This is the company that made the board game, so they know what they are doing, at least with Evolution for sure. If you don't know them that well, or if you haven't heard of Evolution, I did know their other game that came out in 2020, Oceans. I did know about that. I honestly didn't relate both of them at the time, but as soon as I was looking into Oceans once more, and I did realize it was North Star who did the Evolution, so they go for these themes a lot, this species themes, evolution, and they're all very, again, good learning experiences, I would say, for everyone, especially for younger children, like I said. So yeah, that was Evolution, the digital board game. If you're interested in the game, you can look it up on Steam, again, or the Switch. I also actually have a promo code that you can use, and you can get a 20% discount on the game. I believe you can follow the link. I'll leave the link in the description. Okay, you just need to follow that link and use the code that I also provide below in the description. So if you want to get the game, you can get that discount for 20%. Now I need to say this, a part of that purchase will actually go into helping my channel, okay? So that is a sponsored link, let's call it like that. So your purchase there, even though you get a discount, I get also a part, and I think I should definitely say this so that you know. Well, it's for you, it's all the same, but again, I like to put it out there. Another thing that we will be doing is a giveaway for a Steam key of Evolution digital board game, a Steam copy of the game. So yeah, I'll be giving out one of those. The key was also provided by North Star, so thank you so much for North Star for providing that key and giving me the chance to offer a copy of the game to one of you. It is not a Nintendo Switch key, okay? It is a key for the Steam version of the game. So all you need to do to be entered in that contest, if you're interested in buying one of and getting this game, one of the copies, all you need to do is leave a comment. Leave a comment here on this video, and let me know what was your favorite solo board game of 2020. I would very much like to know, to get ideas for the next solo playthroughs here on the channel. Maybe games that I don't currently own, maybe I'll get them so I can showcase them here on the channel if there are games that people really appreciate. So please let me know in the comments which game did you most enjoyed playing solo in 2020. I would love to know, and that's pretty much all you need to do. Just leave a comment here and subscribe to the channel, okay? That's all you need to do. Be subscribed and comment this video. If you don't have a favorite solo game of 2020, just comment anyway. Just say hi if you want to. That's all you need to do. Leave a comment and be a subscriber here on Solo Quest, and I will raffle one winner. I'll pick a winner on February 1st. Okay, on the 1 of February, a winner will be picked. And yeah, that's it. That's it for me for Evolution board game. If you have any questions about the game, please leave in the comments. I'll try and answer them as fast as I can and as quickly and correctly as I can. If I can't, I'll ask for some help to North Star. But yeah, if you do have any questions or any other things you would like to say, please leave them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, stay safe, everyone. Bye bye.